Hi there, welcome to the shop. I'm Cale. So I have someone in my life who's going to be moving into their very first apartment soon, and I thought it would be a great opportunity to not only put together a toolbox for them as an apartment warming gift, but also make this video on what should go in your first toolbox. So join me as we unpack this and dig into what ought to be in your very first toolbox. So as we go through this toolbox unboxing and reboxing, I'll point out what I think are essential tools for your first toolbox and what I think are nice to haves. Now at the end of this video, I'll tell you what the grand total cost of everything was in this box, and it was a little higher. No, it was a lot higher than I expected that it would be. Prices are very high right now, and it seems that the cost of this toolbox reflects that. Now you could bargain shop and you don't have to buy super high-end tools for your very first toolbox. So what I'm going to show you really is just more about the form and the function of the tool and why I believe it belongs in your very first toolbox. So let's dig into this. Obviously, first and foremost, you'll need a toolbox. This black plastic toolbox is kind of a medium-sized, probably a little big for an apartment, but shop around based on what you need for your particular application in the apartment that you're living in. So the items in this toolbox are not necessarily in any particular order. I just kind of packed everything in here, and I'm going to pull it out and talk about each one as they come out, and I'll put them on the table so we can kind of see where we end up. So first and foremost, we've got a hammer, your basic claw hammer. You need a claw hammer for pulling nails out of a wall or putting finished nails in a wall to hang pictures and other things like that in an apartment. You're always going to need some kind of percussive instrument, and a hammer does just that. So, gotta have a hammer. A crescent wrench. Now you could fill this toolbox with all kinds of different wrenches, but in your life, in your first apartment, maybe you have a skateboard, maybe you have a bicycle, maybe it's an electric bicycle, maybe you have a motorcycle, maybe you're responsible for more than just your apartment. Having an adjustable wrench isn't the perfect solution, but when you need to get around something and you just don't have the right tool, this is the tool you need to reach for. A pair of slip joint pliers. They're called that because they slip so you can grab smaller and larger things. This is also one of those tools where if you don't have the exact tool for the job, this one will get it done. Next up is a pair of needle nose pliers. These are great for pulling splinters or getting at little bitty things, and really no toolbox should be without a pair of needle nose pliers. A putty knife. Maybe you need to scrape some paint off of the ceramic tiles in your new apartment because the painters that came through were kind of messy. Maybe you've got a new picture or a new mirror that you're hanging on the wall and it's got a price tag on it and you need to scrape that price tag off. These come in very handy for a variety of different reasons. Finish nails. I mentioned these earlier with the hammer. You're going to want to hang pictures in your apartment. You're going to want to put things on the wall, and sometimes you don't need to put a big giant wall anchor in the wall when a small finish nail will do the trick. These probably hold about 5 or 10 pounds, which most pictures fit right into that category. Some type of adhesive. Could be super glue, Elmer's glue, cyanoacrylate, whatever floats your boat. But you need to have some kind of fixative in your toolbox because sooner or later something's going to move that shouldn't, and you'll need some super glue to make sure that it stays where it needs to be. That being said, you also need some Goof Off or Goo Gone. Going back to that mirror where maybe you need to scrape off a price tag, sometimes price tags are made of weird things that just don't seem to want to come off. Goo Gone or Goof Off is really kind of like an orange oil kind of substance that will help get things off, sticky, gooey price tag things. Somebody buys you a set of coffee mugs and the bottom of every one has a sticker on it that peels off in little tiny pieces. This will help you out a long way when it comes to getting rid of stickers. Velcro. Going to want to tie back cables behind your TV or, I don't know, in the kitchen. Maybe you've got some appliances you want to tidy up. It never hurts to have some Velcro around the house, and since this is your house, you should have some in your toolbox. An assortment of wall anchors that include bits depending on where you live. Now, I don't know where you're watching this video from, so you might be in the Southwest where your walls are made out of drywall, or you might be on the East Coast where your walls are made out of plaster, or somewhere else where maybe you have a a red brick wall or a cinder block wall, these bits with the red tips are meant for drilling into concrete. Otherwise, you can use other things to get holes into drywall, and we'll cover those in just a bit. Next up is a stud finder. They sell all different sorts of these in big box stores, Walmart, you name it. You can buy these anywhere. You don't need a big fancy digital one. Big surprise, this one is just a magnet. And what it does is it picks up on the drywall screws or the nails that are anchoring the substrate onto the studs, and where you find a nail or a screw, there's sure to be a stud behind it. So these work really well because you can slide them around on a painted wall and they'll stop and grab a hold where the screws are. You move them from there vertically up and down to confirm that you've got a series of screws. Now you know where the stud is, and you didn't have to mark up the wall or tear anything up to get to it. A can of WD-40 or some other type of lubricant. Nothing is more annoying than a squeak, and this is a great fix for squeaks. This is also a really good cleaning agent for cleaning things. You can use this to remove stickers, although it's a little harder to wash off than the Goof Off, but having some type of lubricant around your very first apartment will serve you well. That squeaky door will keep you awake at night. Your basic Craftsman level, this one has a magnet on it, so it'll stick to metal surfaces. But basically this gives you a horizontal level and also plumb if you're trying to put a piece of art on the wall and you want to make sure that it's just right. These are great to have in your toolbox. This particular toolbox comes with a little tray. I'm just going to take that out and sit it over here to the side. So I would recommend 2 tape measures in your very first apartment, and here's why. Most of the time you're going to be measuring little things like where to put a piece of art or a picture of your family, and this little 6-foot tape measure is plenty long enough to take those kinds of measurements. However, if you're looking to get a rug for your apartment or some furniture and you need to know how big the rooms are, you need something a little bit longer to measure all the way across a room, long wall or short wall in your apartment, so you can have a better understanding of what kind of stuff will fit in your apartment. Next up is a flashlight. You can get all kinds of different flashlights. I'm a fan of these USB-C rechargeable ones because you can just find a place in your apartment to keep it plugged in, always charged, and easily grabbable when the lights go out. Sooner or later, the lights are going to go out. Sooner or later, you're going to need a flashlight to look under the couch. And I know you can use your phone these days, but nothing's worse than using your $1,500 phone as a flashlight and dropping it and watching the screen crack. Reach for this instead. A utility knife. You're in your own apartment now, you're going to have access to sharp tools. Don't run with scissors, and don't run with utility knives. But you're probably going to be buying things that need to be opened. Containers, I don't think I have any here. Oh, I do. I'll show you in a minute. Containers that are made out of some futuristic plastic that it seems like they need a special tool to open them. This is how you'll get them open. Always helps to have a good sharp knife in your toolbox. Here we go. A multi-screwdriver with multiple bits. Now you could fill this toolbox with a variety of different Allen tools, hex tools, Torx tools, Phillips screwdrivers, flat tips, the list goes on. Or you could buy a little multi-pack like this that has a bunch of bits. Who knows what furniture you're going to be assembling in your very first apartment, or where you're going to buy it from, or whether or not it comes with the tools that you need. Something like this will help you assemble most anything. This with the pliers, and you should have everything you need to assemble things in your new apartment. Some shop rags. Don't use your nice towels that your family got you as a housewarming gift. Those are for the kitchen and those are for cleaning dishes. Keep some old nasty rags or old t-shirts in your toolbox that you can use for cleaning up WD-40 when you spray it on a door hinge and it runs down the door, or when you're taking stickers off of a mirror and you need something that you can kind of be disposable and throw away. So keep some shop rags in your toolbox. You're going to need access to a parts bin, because all of these wall anchors and finish nails, and trust me, 3 months into your new apartment, you're going to have bags of hardware that you have no idea where they came from or what they're for. And so having some kind of organizer bin, preferably that fits in your toolbox, will go a long way toward keeping you organized. All right, a set of drill bits. Now these drill bits specifically have the kind of hex head that can go into a drill driver, which I also have in here. Now this is not a mandatory purchase by any means for a first-time toolbox, but if you have access to a cordless tool, it can help with doing things like building a bed or assembling a dresser, something with a lot of parts that your wrists and muscles are just going to get tired doing the old-fashioned way. To go along with these, let's put these out here. To go along with these, we have these bit extenders, because sometimes you need to get inside something to be able to get a drill bit in there, or to get one of the bits in here. All of these are compatible with this tool, which plugs into the cordless drill driver that can allow you to kind of have some power behind your twisting. So now let's talk about essentials. I think that tape measures are essentials in a toolbox. A flashlight is an essential in a toolbox. The hammer, these crescent wrench and slip joint pliers, the Goof Off and the lubricant, the utility knife, the bit set here, a level, the putty knife and some Velcro. These are all really essentials that should be in your first toolbox, and they'll be a part of your life from now on. When you move from your first apartment to your first home, when you buy your first home, all of these tools are still applicable, plus more. So by the time you move into a home, you will know which of these tools are your go-tos and that you can't live without. Me personally, I've been a craftsman for 40 years. I couldn't imagine living without a magnetic stud finder. When I go to a client's house, these are super fast and easy ways for me to identify studs. And oftentimes people are mesmerized by the fact that I use simple magnets instead of some fancy ring laser gyro like from some Marvel movie. Things like drill bits and power tools, maybe those are optional or nice to haves for your first toolbox. But everything else you see here, I do really think is key to success in your very first apartment. Now on to our magical tool that I suspect 99% of younger people moving into their first apartment probably have never heard of, don't know what it is, and don't know how to use it. And I'm going to show you that right now. So in your first apartment, in your kitchen, you might have access to a garbage disposer in the kitchen sink. Now, this is something that you can use to chew up food and get rid of some solid food waste going down the drain. But inevitably what happens is you put something down the drain. Maybe it's a spoon, maybe it's a bone from some soup. It's something that gets jammed between the teeth of the garbage disposer and the electric motor's ability to turn it. So what's going to happen is the garbage disposer is going to make a lot of noise, and then it's going to jam, and then it doesn't move. And so now you're wondering, what do you do? First and foremost, unplug your garbage disposer when that happens. Then you're going to want to look for this wrench in your toolbox. This little magic fellow is called a jam buster wrench. Your first apartment may have one of these under the sink already. They generally tend to come with garbage disposers. So if you have one and you see this under the sink, I'm going to tell you how to use it. So there's a small Allen hole in the bottom of the garbage disposer. Now you've already unplugged the garbage disposer from the outlet under the sink, so there's no harm that it's going to fire up and do anything bad. This goes in the socket in the bottom of the garbage disposer, and then you can turn this in the opposite direction. There'll be an arrow on the bottom of the disposer that tells you which way to turn it. This jam buster allows you to back the teeth away from whatever's inside the disposer that got jammed up in there. And now you can safely, because you've unplugged the disposer from the electrical outlet, now you can safely reach into the drain and pull the spoon, the butter knife, the bone. I think I've gotten lots of things caught in my garbage disposer over the years. But you'll be able to pull that out, put the jam buster wrench back in there, ensure that the disposer blades spin freely. Take this wrench out, now plug your disposer back in, and you're back in business. All because you have this jam buster wrench. Now, if you have Allens around in your bit set, you could use those too. It doesn't really matter. This just gives you a little bit of leverage, and if this lives under your sink or in your toolbox, you'll know exactly what to do when you get a pork chop bone stuck in your garbage disposer. So there you go. There's all the items that I feel should be in a first-time toolbox for someone moving into their first apartment complex. Now, you're welcome to drop a comment and let me know, what do you think all of this would cost in November of 2024 in the United States. So have you come up with a guess yet? Okay, believe it or not, what you see here from a local big box store was about $320. Now, to me, that seems like a lot of money for a first toolbox. So, to the extent that you can, perhaps you have someone in your life who can help contribute to your first toolbox by giving you some of their tools. If you know someone in your life like me who's a lifetime craftsman, they probably have 15 different versions of these slip joint pliers and would probably be happy to give you one of theirs. So perhaps going into your first apartment, you buy the toolbox, and then some of your family members can contribute by giving you an extra hammer or a flashlight or a tape measure. And so that can help cut the cost down of putting together your first toolbox for your first apartment. So if this video is applicable to you, first and foremost, congratulations on getting your first apartment. That is a huge accomplishment and you should be very proud of yourself. Now you can go out and get yourself a toolbox and get ready to roll up your sleeves, get dirty, and start working on things around your apartment. I hope you found this video useful. If so, please consider liking and subscribing. I tend to make this kind of content on a regular basis, and I'd hate for you to miss another video that might be useful for you. So until next time, friends, that's it for me. I'm out. Peace, love, and sawdust. Till next time.